Good day to you all, and thanks for joining us on this virtual coffee break, Tuesday, November the 10th at Citrix Converge 2020. As we get started, I need to tell you that we are recording this and we'll share it via the Citrix Developers YouTube channel. This is to be considered a public event, so please don't share any NDA content. I know sometimes customers and partners are keen to ask about upcoming functionality, but we may have to disappoint you. Now, the way this works is we'll basically have a discussion. If you have a question, then please raise your hand in the GoToWebinar interface and we can open your mic up and mute you, or just type them into the question panel and Sunny or I can ask them. So with that, welcome, Juan Rivera. Please introduce yourself and tell us what it is you do, where you're located, and what products you're responsible for.
Thank you for the introduction, Pat, and I'm very excited to be here with you guys and have the opportunity to chat about Citrix and our initiatives to engage with developers and customers, which is really awesome that we're doing this. So, like I said, my name is Juan Rivera. I've been at Citrix for almost 20 years now. Started back in early 2001 as a developer, and worked across a lot of products at Citrix, from things like Secure Gateway, for those who remember that back in 2001 or 2. Worked on HDX, ShareFile, even the GoToMeeting, products work at some point as well. Over the past 6 years, I've been working on Citrix Cloud. I was one of the first engineers who started on this project, and we set out to, basically turn CVAT on-prem into a cloud service and build all these platform components that we now today call Citrix Cloud. And we start bringing many other products, including Endpoint Management, ShareFile, Gateway Service, Access Control, Analytics. Today, I lead the what's called Workspace engineering team, and that includes the CVAT team, Endpoint Management, Gateway Service, also includes Analytics, Secure Browser, Access Control, and a few other things. So that's my team, and my mission at Citrix is really continue to drive the transition to the cloud, and help our customers move to the cloud and enable new capabilities and services in the cloud. And as we do that, it's an opportunity for us to reimagine some of the things that we do, right? And also that also means the way we engage with developers. And with that, you start thinking about transitioning from things like PowerShell to REST APIs that you can consume with your favorite language, providing a richer set of APIs, the opportunity to create, give you the tools to drive more through automation, and enable you to move faster as you move things into the cloud. You're able to stay more current with new things that are happening, new things that we're enabling, and you're able to take advantage of a lot of that. And the more you do in automation, the easier it would be for you to maximize and leverage all the innovation that is coming from our teams. And that's where I see events like this are super valuable, because it creates a different way for us to engage and participate in how we evolve this our tooling, our APIs, and the way we engage to help you be successful as you start looking into some of those opportunities.
Cool. So what's the scale of your organization, just roughly, in terms of
the team? We're talking about maybe 1,500 engineers.
Wow.
across all the different teams. I also forgot to mention that, one of the teams, because a lot of teams, it's a Workspace team, obviously, the Workspace platform and the Workspace, the micro apps team. That's also a big part of. In fact, funny thing, we started this event due to the micro apps platform, and we want to build, so developer community around it. We're also finding interest in many of the things that we do in Workspace. So I'm glad to see how this event has grown to cover a lot more of the services that we do with Citrix Workspace and network.
So managing an organization of 1,500 developers, do you get time to code yourself?
I do love to code. It's actually my favorite pastime. I don't play golf. I do run just to work my belly, but it's my favorite pastime. I love to write code. These days, I've been writing code using a framework called Flutter and a language called Dart, and it's a fantastic toolkit to build mobile apps. And so, the thing is that technology changes so fast that you have to continue to learn the new technologies, the new things are happening to stay current, because we make a lot of technical decisions about how we move the products, evolution, how we pivot on certain things, and you have to have a good grasp of a lot of these technologies. And when you move to management, you start getting disconnected from technology, yet you're expected to make a lot of these decisions. So on my free time, I dedicate most of it in learning new technologies. And for me, it's not that difficult because I consider myself still an engineer, a developer. That's I felt that since 6th grade I started writing code. I found my calling in life. So it's not a chore for me to spend time writing code because I do really enjoy doing that.
So in 6th grade, you were going into the store and typing in 10, print hello, 20, go to 10, and then hitting return.
Yeah. I started with an Atari 800.
Nice.
Back then in the 80s, and so it's fun. It's fun.
So you were talking about transitioning to the cloud, and I know we've been trying to move a lot of our apps into the cloud. And then with micro apps, how do you feel that they help accentuate the workflow with the move to the cloud and how end users are working now?
Yeah, so the thing about moving things into the cloud, oftentimes we talk about that in multiple aspects. One is, move our Citrix infrastructure to a service that we offer. That's one. The other one is, move your workloads from our on-prem data center into a public cloud. That's another one. But there's also the opportunity in which you can actually modernize aspects of your application without necessarily moving the app into the cloud, but by leveraging some of our technologies to gain access to those applications without having to rewrite them or lifting those applications. And the micro app framework allows us to do some of that, where you can connect different apps and different mechanisms so that you can expose some functionality into the workspace that is most useful, and you want to have quick access to that without having to do a full rewrite of the application. And that's a compelling opportunity that we offer in the workspace. Is extending the workspace to go beyond just simply a launchpad, but to where you can actually take actions and do more rich things in it by leveraging our APIs and our platform.
Awesome. So we have a question from Mahesh. Do you have any marketplaces within Workspace to support publishing APIs, micro apps, custom apps by community? What are the opportunities for freelancers to build?
That is a great question, and I think that it's something that we've been discussing, because I think that one of the things I'm excited about this workspace transition and the micro apps platform is the opportunity to create an ecosystem in which our partners can make tons of money by building on top of it, right? And the idea is that, it's not just building an integration to one of the customers that you might be consulting to, but say, hey, I built this integration, I got this customer to deploy it, it's happy, but what if I make this integration available and then sell it to other people and they can discover it through the Citrix ecosystem? So that is something that is being in discussions on how we can make that possible, so that then your investment in building on top of the platform can be can return a higher yield by be able to reach out to more than the customers you get to talk to directly.
Yeah, this is a theme that's come up in a lot of these coffee breaks, is this idea of Citrix providing these services like the CVAD services and networking and so on. And partners who have experience in particular, specialist domains, taking those services and using them to build a targeted solution. So we can't know everything about, wholesale banking or some highly regulated industry, but we certainly know secure access and virtual apps and desktop. So it'll be interesting to see, with this platform of services, just what people can build with them, and see people creating value on top of that ecosystem, creating value on top of the platform we're building.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's part of the reimagining our how we create an ecosystem in the cloud where a lot of the partners can build very successful businesses around Citrix Cloud and our services. That's fundamental to our success. And if you think about, historically we've done a lot of that with on-prem products, and now in the cloud creates even more opportunities on how we can do those opportunities to enable even more partners to sell their solutions that they build on top of Citrix Cloud.
Right.
I think this is fundamental for us to have a thriving ecosystem.
Yeah.
So we have a question from Hardail Singh. Does all data used by micro apps have to populate from cache tables?
It does populate from cache tables. So you have to populate the cache, and then the cache is what the micro app uses to build the UI. Is that the question?
I believe so. Yeah. Feel free, Hardail, to raise your hand or ask a follow-up. Oh yeah. I think you answered this question. There's obviously some questions about, hey, I want the data to show much faster, and the cycle it takes to get the cache updated, and so we're looking at enhancing those things where there's going to be scenarios where you can have more immediate updates of the UI based on what the backend system is providing. But we started with the cache, and there were some performance concerns about hitting those servers too much and how we can manage that, and that's why the cache is there. But as we continue to evolve the platform, we'll make improvements in that. Ultimately, as you pointed out, you really want that UI to reflect the most current data in real time as much as possible. Yeah, I had a lot of fun actually. So as many people know by now, I've done a few of these calls. I started at Citrix about 4 months ago, and I started with the micro apps learning journey. And so I did that, and then I think we released webhooks. So you can actually push data dynamically into the micro apps platform. So this is a particle little IoT prototype device, and it actually has like a little LED and a sensor, so you can put a piece of paper in and interrupt the beam like a kind of burglar alarm kind of thing. And so I played with this, and I have to say I hooked it up to the webhook support in about 20 minutes. I mean, the hardest thing was just, figuring out the syntax for the JSON message that got posted to micro apps. And it worked really, really well. As you say, we want to get that latency down a little bit. You wouldn't want this to be your sole means of detecting if somebody's breaking into your house. But certainly for notifications about things like, an opportunity closes in Salesforce or something like that, it's brain dead easy to get working.
Yeah.
I was so impressed when.
I was looking on my phone because I wanted to show a notification. So I wrote a micro app. When we were launching the platform, just to kind of get my own feel for the micro app, and I wrote actually 2 apps, very simple apps. The first one was a weather app. And one of the cool things is, I wrote it and it works every day because it sends me at 7 a.m. every day, and it's been running for about a year, and it has not failed, which is fantastic. The platform just really works, and it sends me a weather update. It says, hey, today it's going to be rainy, it's going to be the high, it's going to be this, and the low is going to be that, and so on. At the time, so I was looking at connecting to a backend service that had an API, and the API wasn't really returning the data the way I wanted. I wanted to put it in the cache, so I used a Firebase function. It's actually a Google function. So wrote it in TypeScript, and basically that one created a REST API that would, basically call that one, get the data in the right format that I wanted, and then return the JSON so it could be populated in the cache.
That would be the facade design pattern.
Yeah. So it actually works really nice, and Google Functions, if you're low volume, they're actually free, so it doesn't really cost me anything to have that. Then I wrote another one for stock. Basically, it was one that would notify me if the Citrix stock will go up or down 5% in a day. So it was a big jump. It will send me a notification. That was a little harder to test because that often doesn't happen commonly. So I had to kind of do some testing, some fake data and so on. But those are it was cool exercise to connect all those things end to end and see those notifications coming on my phone. And it actually wasn't that much of a code to write. If you're familiar with TypeScript and Node.js, a Google function, it becomes a very easy thing to write for sure.
So the next step is to hook it up to a big speaker in the office, like on Silicon Valley, so you can have those notifications blasting. Okay, yeah. So shall I take this one, Sunny? It's pretty involved. And before I read this question out, I'll just remind everybody of the NDA thing. We're not under NDA. It's a public forum, so we might not be able to answer this in a huge amount of detail. But is there any roadmap to have HIPAA-compliant micro app cache in Citrix Cloud? We were in the middle of a white glove effort with Citrix earlier this year to deploy micro apps. It was discovered that the cache that is used by Citrix Cloud for micro apps is not HIPAA compliant, which basically means healthcare organizations can't use micro apps for a large swathe of application integrations because of PHI and no HIPAA compliant storage. So, Juan, is there anything you can tell us about HIPAA compliance?
That's a great question, and I would defer that question to somebody from the product management team. But I'll say that
good answer. We can take it to PJ.
Yeah, when I was working on ShareFile, we did the exercise of going through Hipaa certification. Actually, it's a little weird because you don't really, service itself doesn't become Hipaa compliant. It's the hospital or the doctor office who has to be compliant, and we just provide certain documentation that they use to achieve their compliance. At the time, some of the things we did was we created a sort of a segmented set of storage zones and separate set of databases and servers. So it was sort of kind of like a isolated deployment of ShareFile and with additional controls. I suspect that it is probably what we'll have to do here as well for micro-apps. I do not know where this is in the roadmap, but I would say that we're making a big effort around getting all our services through a number of compliance standards. As you might have read, Citrix Workspace achieved FedRAMP ready, which is actually one of the hardest compliance standards to achieve. We actually worked for about 3 years on that one, as just 300 plus controls that have to be implemented across all the different components. But we do see a great deal of value in making sure that our services have all those key compliance standards. So while I cannot tell you with certainty when something like this will do, I would say that in general, compliance standards is big in our priority list in general.
Right. Okay.
So, for those that have participated in today's coffee talk, we are awarding at random our Bluetooth Citrix audio bottles, which have actually become a high commodity during these talks. So with that, we want to say congratulations to Hard Async, Joseph Ward, and Mike Kelly. Your bottles are on the way.
Oh,
yeah,
congratulations.
We'll be sending those out with the t-shirts, I think. So make sure you provided the correct shipping address when you registered. And so, yeah, I see another question, another one from Mahesh, who surely deserves a water bottle. So he asks, are you planning for auto API generation?
Are you talking about maybe like using Swagger to generate the proxy client code, or are we talking about something else?
Do you want to ask a quick follow-up there, Mahesh? Oh, I guess. Well, let's assume he's asking about Swagger.
Yeah. So really, on Swagger, we definitely be posting the Swaggers to facilitate that. You know, and one of the things that we're doing also is revamping a lot of the APIs. We you know, looking at revamping the Workspace APIs that, you know, they evolved from storefront. We moved them to the cloud, but making those a new and next evolution of that on Siva, the traditional PowerShell API, to now the orchestration REST API, and all those APIs, you know, we have Swagger files. So the intent is you can program with your favorite language, right? If you want to create a client on TypeScript or in Java, C#, whatever language you prefer, Python, you should be able to use those and program against any of these services easily. And that's key for us.
Okay. Well, we are coming towards the top of the hour, so we've maybe got time for one more question. If somebody wants to, if we have a brave person who wants to raise their hand, and actually we can open the mic, or another one in the question panel before we wrap up. Yeah, while people are getting their question together, I'd just like to say this has been really fascinating, Juan. It's a great opportunity to see, you know, a little bit under the covers of, you know, how we do things. I mean, I've made no secret of the fact that I'm a kind of Citrix noob, and so this whole event has been, you know, a great way of just learning more about the company and how we do things. And you know, it's pretty amazing you know, what the engineering teams are coming up with, and, you know, seeing it roll out like this. It's very cool.
It's great. I mean, I think that this journey to the cloud has been incredible and super fulfilling to the team, and the ability to be so much more engaged with customers and the community it's been great. And I'll say this event, it's always been a dream of mine that Citrix having a developer conference and seeing this is just fantastic. I can express with words how great it is to see this happening. So thank you guys for setting this up, and thank you for those who are joining the coffee break. I hope you find this useful and continue with the event, and we'll continue to do this and provide more content to you, more innovation things, opportunities for you guys to build solutions and improve your business as you build on our technology. So thank you everyone.
Thank you, Juan. I guess your key learning is dreams can come true.
Dreams. Thank you.
Okay, well, with that, thank you so much, Juan. Thank you for everybody that dialed in, and especially those who asked questions. Thank you, Sunny, and we'll let you get back to your day. Okay.
All right.
Bye. Bye.